Uh, Good day, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream, guys. This is the first time I'm doing this, so this is about really nerve-wracking for me. Um, it's actually weird just to not hear myself talk. So, welcome. This is Roz, hot ass number one, and we got a few hot asses joining us now. And we're going to do a little bit of an introductory to our situation and how we all became involved in the Chris Watts case. So I'm going to pop everyone on now. Like we're all on, so I'm going to unmute you all. So, oh my goodness. Hello. Are we there?
Greetings.
Greetings.
Hi. Hi,
Oh,
everybody. Can you hear me?
yeah, can hear you. Oh, hi to the moon. Oh, thanks, Donna. Lots of hot asses. All right. Ali, I've unmuted you, but I think you've got yourself on mute, do you? Hello?
I was just muting until I was like speaking up, just
Oh,
because
I
I'm
thought
kind of
so.
yeah. But
And,
I am.
and,
Go ahead.
and
I'm sorry.
I think Angie's kicked herself off again.
Um,
I
hey,
know,
Donna,
guys. So
hey,
how are we
Susan
going to do
Major.
this? Ali, I'm going to need your help because I'm sort of new to this and I get really nervous about it all. So, and yeah, so I thought we would start with how we all became involved in the Chris Watts case, and then we'll get to the real good stuff, right?
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
Um,
that sounds
who
good
wants
to
to
me.
start? Yeah. Well,
Fantastic.
I'm not going to start first. So who's going to start first?
I'll
Um,
go. I
I'll
can go. Oh,
I'll
no, you
start.
go, Allie. You
Oh,
start.
I'm
Go.
short. So basically, I was on YouTube doing like watching beauty stuff, and at home all the time with a new baby, kind of new to recovery, and didn't have any friends. And the Watts case happened, and I think maybe I was recommended like Nicole Kessinger's interrogations first, or something like that wasn't live that I started listening to, and then somehow I crept into the live community, and then I got stuck. That's kind of it.
Yeah, we all got
After
stuck
that,
on
it
the
was all a wrap.
channel. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's like we're all talking about how we really like. I used to just watch you makeup tutorials and like I like Wayne Goss and Taylor and all that, and I used to love that. So yeah, so for me it was um here in Australia we don't get a lot of international coverage on news, right? But Chris Watts actually made our news. It was even before he was found guilty, so it was really weird to have sort of a newsreel from Colorado about a missing wife and kids, and a missing pregnant woman and her kids. And then they showed the case like on the news, like, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a weird case. And I saw straight away, man, he's guilty, he's lying. And I got intrigued from that, and then I started searching on YouTube and started seeing stuff, and then he did the confession. I was really into watching, the Tammy Lee confession and all that. And then I was really defensive with the Rusex, as well, pro Rusex, which I still am anyway, because they are the victims. And I really got involved. I mean, I did lots of videos, and I think, I'm gonna make this clear to everyone. I actually did quite a few videos, and that's why I have around 600 subs. And I used to really dislike Miss Menza. I hated her. So I used to do a lot of videos about her. She was just
Oh
so
wow, I didn't
nasty.
know
I did
that.
I did lots of videos. If my friends in here, they'll know, they remember. So they'll remember that I used to do a lot of anti Miss Menza videos, and I was very pro the Rusex. I was on the truthist sides, like Outback Outlaw and Preach Queen. I was on that side, Mummy Ramblings, that way. And I met a few good friends, and one day some kerfuffle happened. Critical K came onto one of my videos and made a comment, a really nice one. And for the truthers, Critical K was really bad. So I said thank you, and I thanked her, and I was really nice to her. And she mentioned me on a live, and that was the end of it. Man, it was hell throughout there. I had people saying, "You are going against the R's. How dare you say a nice thing about her?" And then after that, I was like, "That's it. I'm leaving." I just went, "No." And then I would watch Shed Detective a little bit. I didn't like him, and I still don't really like a lot of his content. I don't hate him. I think he's okay, but he's just not my cup of tea because I actually believe that Chris Watts did the whole, like, I reckon he killed everyone and he didn't have an accomplice. I just think Nikki Kessinger wasn't telling the whole truth to the detectives, but I did think she was guilty of killing anybody. And that's how I got introduced into Heather. So, because I saw the cam slip and I felt so bad for her. She was bullied so bad, and that when she started her Blair channel, I sent her a message and said, "Good on you, girl, for rising above the bullies." So that's the little introduction to how I met Heather. Next one.
Wow.
Really quick. You need to let Angie in. She sent a message, just so you gotta let her in. She's waiting in the wings. Okay.
Yep, I've got her in now. Angie.
Hello, hey.
Oh, she's on. You're on live.
Okay, how's it going?
I'm
Hi.
Hey,
good.
Angie.
You good?
Hey, Allie.
I left
Everyone.
something out.
Look.
Um, I was just going to say that I actually had interviewed Heather back in the day. So when I started my channel, I was just doing TikTok, and Cheryl and Cato's mods, like I was kind of became friends with them, and they were like, let's start doing like a live discussion. That would be fun. So anyways, it came to be that was really just Cheryl and me, except for the one of the mods joined one of them. But we had Heather on, and that is still actually up on my channel. It's very gross to watch. Yeah, very.
I actually, when you
I
type
had
in
absolutely no
unmurdered,
clue. Wow.
when you type in unmurdered, yours is one of the first ones that comes up when I um type her in, because I'm not subscribed to Heather, because
Ooh.
I don't. So sometimes if you guys tell me something, I have to go and search it, and I go, oh, okay. She did another live. Yeah, great. She doxed me again. Yeah, right, fantastic. That's another strike there happening there. Because whatever. Um, yeah, and oh, by the way, guys, it's like 5:15 in the morning here in Australia. So I'm really gonna need some help from these ladies. I'm drinking my coffee now.
Hmm.
All right.
Well,
Who's the next person?
I'll talk.
Hmm.
So, I've always been interested in true crime. I had a murder in my own family a long time ago, and I've just always been interested in true crime, but I never watched YouTube at all until the Chris Watts case, and I happened to catch him on the news on that infamous porch video he did. And I was just hooked to the case, just riveted to it from the beginning. And I don't know, somebody mentioned Armchair Detective probably on Facebook or somewhere. And so I searched him out and found him on YouTube and started watching him. And that's how I came to know Heather, and was watching her talk on his shows. He would have her in his Patreon and stuff, and I was just so interested. So I contacted her and offered to help her out, and she took me up on it, and that's how I became part of her team. And that's my backstory of how I met Heather and how I became part of the YouTube true crime world.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's something to say that
I can't
I was
blame you
bullied.
at the time.
Yeah, we all felt. I felt sorry. I know Jenna felt sorry for too. You know how you feel sorry for the underdog. The kid that gets picked at school and all that. I mean, I was picked on. I was bullied at school quite badly because I didn't fit into my looks until I was 17, because I was really skinny, scrawny, big eyes, big lips, and the whole lot. And and I got picked on daily, and that was something that really tugged at me. That she was horrendously mocked by the oppositions, and even I was on the truther side, like the mummy ramblings and all that side. I kind of told them off and said, hey, don't don't pick on the content, not on her looks. And that really is but Heather always knew I hated Chris Watts. I said he killed the whole lot of them, and I was the only one in the team that fought like that. I was not a Chris Watts groupie, so it was really funny to hear that. Oh, they were obsessed with Chris Watts. I hate the man, so because I don't like him, I hate him. I don't like him. He's a piece of whatever, and he deserves to be in jail. And I think Jana can attest to that. So
Yes, that is true. And
yeah,
I was not obsessed with Chris Watts like as a person. I never felt he was innocent. I feel he's totally guilty, but I'm just the opposite of Roz, and I feel like he did have help um, from
Yeah.
s- from
Same.
several people. Yeah, and I just feel like the whole thing has been a cover up and blah blah blah. But some of the other people on the team took it a little farther and were sending him photos, or so they thought they were. And I
oh, they
never
thought
I
they
never
were.
kind of went that far.
Buying puka shells. I mean, it's so funny to watch Heather calling me the dreamer. They were all into astral travel and projections and all that stuff, and I'm rolling my eyes, going, "For God's sakes, he's a freaking murderer!" They would say, "Oh, he's coming to hell," because she would say he was reading astral traveling books and he was learning how to heal through astral travel, and I'm going,
Oh
"Freaking
my.
hell!" I just went, "No." I don't want that guy coming near me. And they all
Yeah.
bought puka shells. I mean, look, the girls on the
Yeah.
team are lovely though, Oh, and they were generally like good people. One is a little bit of a hothead, and we all know who she is, but the other girls are pretty decent, so I'm not going to talk bad about her. But it is the con artist, the expertise of Heather, and how she is able to con people to believe in this stuff. And when it's like a cult, when you walk away from it, right? You go, did I actually believe this crap? You go, oh God, I was such an idiot and taken in by it.
It
But
was
yeah,
so subtle though. I mean, because it
mm,
started on the Armchair Detective as, I've been writing letters back and forth with him. It was real. It wasn't just like, boom, I talked to him on the phone. It was real, like slow and methodical.
mm, that's right. Tess, I wanted to hear how you got involved with all this too.
Well, to start with true crime, when I was a little girl, there was a person that was a close family friend that was kidnapped. And it's a pretty big story in Minnesota. And we'll go on and talk about it now. Maybe some other time we can. But it, as a 10-year-old girl, affected me to my core. It was something that you just don't think can happen. And then when someone gets taken, and he wasn't found for 26 years, so I was an adult by the time, we were 30 some years old by the time he was found. And so it was something that affected me, and I think put an imprint on me very early to be interested in true crime. I remember the first case I really got into was on Court TV before YouTube was around, and it was a kid named Eddie O'Brien, and he was obsessed with his best friend's mom. And it was in Massachusetts. I'm sure someone could look it up and find it sometime in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And he murdered her, or unalived. I apologize, I'm not good at this YouTube thing. He unalived his best friend's mom by stabbing her multiple times. And it was a case I watched every day on Court TV for weeks and weeks. And then YouTube, I was a stay-at-home mom. I have one child, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I did work in his school, but was home a lot during the afternoons. And so I just started watching YouTube back in the olden days with like Shane Dawson, Tyler Oakley, Jenna Marbles, all that kind of thing. And then kind of got into the true crime with Kendall Ray, Danielle Hallen, John Lorden, those kind of people. And I actually found Heather through a post that Plunder did, speaking about Heather's letters to Chris Watts. And so I wrote her because to be fully honest, I went to school for psychology, and I was very interested in her perspective on how she didn't say he was guilty or innocent, but she really wanted to look beyond, or so she said to me, look beyond, the crime and see the reason why he did what he did. And that's how I started communicating with Heather. Just wrote her a message, she wrote back, and then we were texting, and I was invited to be on her mod team. But then some things that she was saying didn't make full sense to me. My brother is in law enforcement, the same thing that affected me when I was little and affected him, and he went into law enforcement to do something about it. And I asked my brother basically some questions that some of the things she was saying didn't add up. And so I asked him some questions, just picking his brain about law enforcement, and asked Heather about it, and I was blocked and kicked off the team. So that's basically how I came to be. So I wasn't around as long. I think that I was gone by March 2021. I just re-got Messenger, and so saw that I was kicked out in March of 2021. So I never watched Armchair Detective. I actually never saw her on there. I heard about it, but was never involved in any of that stuff. So yeah,
Oh,
that's me.
wow.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That's interesting because as part of her team, I can't speak for the other ladies, but I did not know the reason behind you leaving the team. That was not
no,
what was told to us.
What was
no.
interesting?
Inactivity, she said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She said that you weren't active enough.
Well, you guys know
Um,
me now. I talk a lot. I'm active a lot.
you do.
I talk way too much. So
It was you and someone else. Was it Dawn or something that also
Yeah.
she got
There
rid of?
was
Yeah,
there was a Dawn, there was a Christy.
yeah,
There were
Christy.
a
Yeah,
few people.
yeah, and
And then Amanda.
Amanda was like, I don't know why they go on about Amanda being like really part of the mod team. She was like on and off. She was sometimes there, like she was hardly in our group chat at all. Like,
Who, like
um,
our Amanda?
yeah, our Amanda, yeah, our
Yeah.
Amanda.
She was
Um,
part of the team briefly.
briefly, but she did use her even when she wasn't a mod. She used her a lot to get to Cheryl and Cadel. Do you remember that, Jenna?
Yeah,
Yeah,
vaguely. And we had a
yeah.
guy. We had a guy. Did we have Dave somebody?
Oh, they got rid of Dave because he was it was Dave G. If he's watching, hello. He was modding for sure, and she voices behind the wall, and she didn't like that, so she
He
got
has
it
a
rid of
bunch
him
of
for
us.
that. Remember? Yeah. And she didn't like that. She always hated her. There was like at the start she tolerated her. I think she tolerated a lot of creators that she didn't like so she could get her name out there. But sure, yeah, ooh,
let's be honest. She doesn't like people who call her out or don't believe
That's it,
her bullshit,
exactly.
but
yeah.
her information that isn't always accurate. My apologies.
And
And
I wanted to say, she said everyone was obsessed with Chris Watts. Nothing she says is true. Literally nothing that they say is true. I mean, I cannot get over. I didn't even watch the last video, but I did see the last about 8 minutes of it, and I've heard other things. And it's just more of the nonsense that she makes up, like out of nowhere. I cannot get over this. Like this, I know for a fact they lie about me, so I'm sure everything else is lies too. You can't believe a damn word that they say. And I believe that I believe that Heather, goes on and on about this stuff, and Miranda says what she hears. That's just my opinion, but maybe
Oh,
I'm
no, I agree because Miranda
Agree.
was saying a lot of things that weren't. Where did that come from? She even said, we organized someone to follow them,
Yeah.
and
I
to
feel
see what was happening.
I
I was
feel
like,
the
no,
information is being filtered to Amanda through Heather, and I don't think that she's
Yeah.
getting a full read on.
Miranda, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Exact
think she's getting a full read on
exactly.
everything. That's my
Uh,
personal opinion. I don't know her whatsoever, but
yeah, in my opinion, I'm not so sure that Miranda is being allowed to watch our videos. And I say this because in all of the videos that I've listened to when Miranda's speaking, her words don't seem to coincide with what I have said and the others have said.
Yeah.
And,
It's like, what? Where'd you get
yeah, and she's changed a lot. I don't know if anybody else has picked up on it, but in my opinion, if you listen to Miranda, her tone, her sentence structure, her wording mimic Heather's. In
Oh,
fact, yeah, in their last
That's
video, I was just listening and I actually thought it was Heather speaking for about the first full minute.
wow.
Yeah.
And until I realized that was Miranda, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she sounds just like how Heather speaks. It was just really
Mm.
strange.
Oh,
And then
yes.
I just want to add one more thing quick about this is like, in my opinion, I believe that Miranda herself receives fake messages from somebody,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
leading her to believe things that are not true about us.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
Yeah,
an
and
unwitting victim. I don't think that she understands the full scope of everything that's transpiring around her.
yeah,
That's right.
and
Yes.
that's true, and more is getting discovered every day. Like I got a privacy strike for that video I uploaded with really exposing the text messages that we know came from Heather, and it's because of the phone number. So upon, I always thought like that's a fake text number, but it is from someone in Las Vegas, which now we're going to lodge that with the police. And by the way, I blurred it, Heather, because I know it's you. We're going to lodge this with the Las Vegas Police Department because that's harassment.
Yeah. Hmm.
And sending that to Angie, now we know it's you. We know it's you.
Um, si-
Yeah, we
constantly
know we
messaging-
knew it was you, but now we've got confirmation. So
Yeah.
yes, and
that's good.
constantly telling Angie that her daughter has committed suicide. That is
Suicide.
disgusting.
Mm,
And let me say one thing before I forget, because
mm,
let me get this very clear. Um, make this very clear. Heather said in her description box that we are not running from the police, blah, blah, blah. No one said you were running from the police. But
Okay.
what I do know for a fact that came from a detective's mouth straight to my ear was that once she started questioning you about trying to do like claim people are harassing you that aren't, you stopped answering and she couldn't get you back in there to answer any questions for several times that she had tried after that. So let's not pretend like you're not trying to dodge them because that's just the facts.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And I'll make this clear. We believe that I believe that text number was a fake now number. Now we know it's a burner number or something. So I blurred it, and that was my mistake. And I told YouTube that. I'm sorry, I blurred it straight away. But obviously the person making the privacy complaint, I did. It's going to go legal now because that, right, Angie. That this is what we're
Yeah.
going to hand in. Okay, so which
Yeah.
is good. And then they if they need to subpoena YouTube, they can. So to get that, because that's serious stuff. I mean, sending you a text message, you know, now they can track it for sure. So
Yeah, because
um,
this isn't the first. We've gotten a few
mm,
texts that said
Oh,
that, but other times it was from people
the,
that pretended to be friends of theirs, just weird things. But
mm,
yeah,
well, it
go
kind of
ahead.
makes me wonder. Okay, you send these texts to me. Like I have 5 of them or 4 of them. 5. And then all of a sudden, I wonder, are you going to do something to my daughter? Are you? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it's made to
Is that
scare you.
freaking
That's the point. She's trying to scare you, which is bullshit.
She's pushing your buttons and she knows what buttons to push. You're a mother, you love your child, and she's trying to antagonize you to react and strike back. That's what she's doing.
Yeah. So a year ago today, well, not today, on the 10th, I believe we left. So a year ago, I was in Vegas right now. Ugh. Anyways, yeah. So what did you ask me, Seren?
yeah, no, you can call me Rustin here. It's okay. Just Heather. Just note this, darling. Every time you use my legal full name and you dox where I live, I am going to strike you.
Oh yeah.
And I've reported it again to ASIO and the detective, because you can't do that. And then putting in like veiled threats saying, oh, this is because of they're homophobic and Fred, and we're threatened for our lives and blah blah blah. They all know it's a lie. So just to let you know,
Yeah,
okay.
drop the
Well,
homophobic
let
bullshit at this point.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
just
sick
gonna
of
say
it.
one thing. You know
I
what? It's
told my boss yesterday. He
2022.
laughed.
No one cares if you're gay. It's 2022. No one cares. And you
Yeah.
can love Jesus. Jesus loved everybody. That's
That's
Of
kind of
course.
the fucking point. Sorry, not trying to swear. It's
Well,
the
remember
point.
the rules
I'm
here.
sorry. I broke the rules.
You did.
You know
You're
what, you guys,
That's okay. That's
everyone
okay.
watching can know I haven't had electricity since last night. A squirrel blew the transformer, so I was a little crabby today. I apologize. I had said an F word. I will stop saying the F
That's
word. I'm
okay.
putting
That's all
myself
right.
on a timeout mute.
That's okay. It's okay. I told the girls. Now, Angie, how did you get involved in the Chris Watts case?
Oh, good Lord. It started with my neighbor actually. Actually, a long time ago, she came over and she's like, "AG," she always calls me AG. She goes, "Do you ever watch YouTube?" I'm like, "No, what's YouTube?" And then she showed me. So that was like what, 4 years ago? Yeah, something like that. And then so basically, yeah, I just, I don't know, I just, I seen him on the porch thing, Jana. Yeah, I seen that. And of course, we're farmers, and I was running out the door, and as I was like, we always watch the news, right? I was watching the news, and I seen him. Like, oh my dear gosh, I hope they find his family, And then off I went. Never thought nothing of it. And then when my bud come up, she showed me that YouTube, and I'm like, oh, there he was. I'm like, oh my God, that's the dude that I seen on the porch interview. So I got a little curious, and I started, doing some digging, thinking, oh, what the all happened? So then of course, I don't know. I never knew where to go on YouTube. I know. And then I seen AD. I'm like, oh. And so I found out what he had done. I'm like, oh my gosh, never thought nothing of it, right? And that was it. And then what else? And not really much. Then I just, I don't know, help me out. My brain's on fire.
Yeah. How did you
Yeah.
meet? How
You
did you meet Heather? How did
Oh,
you meet Heather then?
okay, that's right. And then AD, I seen Heather on AD, and then I went over to her channel. I'm like checking her out. I'm like, oh, she sounds pretty cool. And then, and it turned out, whenever I would leave a comment, I always put a Canadian flag, right? That's just that's what I do, right? So, anyways, and then she's like something about maple syrup, and she's like, "Oh, she loved maple syrup," and I said, "Send me your address, and I'll send you a bottle." And that's all it took. And then we just started talking from there.
At
Yeah,
that point, she knew she could take advantage of you, and she started with her trickery. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. Just my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That gave
then
me goosebumps.
Well,
yeah,
my opinion is that she saw Angie being very generous in super chats, etc., and she played upon that.
yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, if she was doing that, I agree. If Angie was doing the super chats and stuff like that,
Hmm.
percent she did it.
And I'm not speaking about her or anyone, but generally speaking, kind-hearted people who are giving, a lot of times people that like to manipulate and use people will go towards those people. If you're a giver, takers are attracted to you. And
Yeah.
I'm not speaking of anyone, that's not an opinion, that's fact.
Yeah.
But my
Narcissist
personal
and
opinion
empath.
is also that Heather did that to you. But that's my
Yeah.
opinion. But the other
That's
part's
like the
fact.
attraction between a narcissist and like a really empathetic or sensitive person, or
Absolutely.
They prey on vulnerable people.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
in my opinion, Heather is an adult bully.
Yeah.
Name calling is a huge tactic that bullies use. It's
Yeah.
it's verbal abuse. She uses name calling all the time. And Heather, I know you're listening. I love the name hot ass.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Heather, you are using people to try to fulfill something lacking within yourself. You use other people. You use Kim and Crafton. You use your other mods, your mother, even your own wife to bully me. And in my opinion, Heather, you have some big, major anger issues. You seem to project a lot. And you seem to have certain obsessions with certain topics. And I'll list them here: SA, homophobia, bad mothers, and mental illness.
Yeah.
And over all the time that I have known you, these same subjects are repeatedly targeted at others that you are angry with. And there are many, and it's not just us here on this team Erickson, as you like to refer to us, but others in the past you've targeted, like Cheryl and Cadle, Brittany, Cher, Armchair Detective, his mods, and more. Anyone who talks about you seems to get added to your list of SA supporters, homophobic, bad moms, mentally ill. And in my opinion, it's gaslighting, and it's a pattern. All of us keep getting accused of these same things over and over and over. We try to take you down. We're jealous of you. It's all projection. And I just can't personally help but wonder what on earth happened to you as a child
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
may have caused this kind of behavior. I feel like at some point in your life, your mind was conditioned to behave in a way that is harmful to other people in order to feel better about yourself.
The crazy thing is look at you talking about her behavior, but she talks about everything. But she talks about looks, family, sexuality. Like she tries to. I mean, listen to them. It's disgusting. They put people down for everything but what we're talking about, which is the behaviors that have happened on YouTube and with Angie. The homophobic shit. I'm so fucking sick of hearing that.
No
Oh my
one's
God, Roz, I'm
homophobic.
sorry. I'm so freaking sick of hearing that
It's
stuff. I really am.
contagious.
Don't worry about it, guys. It's
Yeah,
okay.
just keep
You know,
going. I
it's
didn't mean
fine.
to, but yeah, I'm just so tired of hearing that stuff. It's like none of. I was surprised when it turned to that because it just shocked me. That had nothing to do with it, and yet we continue every time that we speak about your behaviors and your actions. It has nothing to do with who you lay down with at night. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Now I'm going to take off from here and I'm going to say to this. This is what happened. Allie, I agree with you 100%. So basically, she scammed me for all this money. She scammed Chris. She scammed blah, blah, blah. She scammed everybody. Mark, Chris, Jamie, me, Claude, and this other guy. What about Mott's? And so basically what she did, she scammed it. So now what she did is she wanted to turn it around because when I did the first live with Allie, I didn't have a clue where my daughter was. I knew she was in Vegas. I didn't know anything. That's why Allie and I got together. Right, Al?
Yep.
And then, so we did that. I didn't mention anything. And I knew that she was married. I knew she got married to Heather. But you know what? I want to know the facts. I want the facts. What did you do after I left you, Miranda? What did you and Heather come up with? And then you come up with this freaking lying that your brother and your dad did all this to you. Like, oh my God, Miranda, you know the truth. You do know the truth. But Heather has something in her brain. Maybe something happened to her, Jana. I agree with you. Maybe something did happen to Heather. And then she got Miranda to say this because she wants Miranda to hate us.
Yep.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Also, she knows what will affect the audience. Like she knows that saying that homophobic people and people who rape women, like people hate those people. Obviously, like I hate those people, right? So she's trying to get you do too, exactly. But
And now we're all being called SA supporters.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't believe in those allegations. If we remember, it was Mark Garagos, the attorney that Heather impersonated, who informed Miranda about her alleged SA.
Yeah.
I think it's important right now that you clarify two things, Angie. All of the people you're speaking of was Heather pretending to be them to you.
Yes,
just to clarify in case someone doesn't know that. And number two, you were Miranda's mother, and I think you need to speak about, not that you're going to share it, but the medical record situation. I think this is a good point for you to share that
See,
information.
Yes.
like Miranda and those guys to lay out Miranda's past life. I ain't doing that. I don't roll like that, you know. So you this at the end of the day, Miranda and I had a very good relationship with her brothers, her sister, and her dad. It was a family. We were a family orientation here on the farm. We all got along good, you know. And then all of a sudden I hear about this her dad doing this to her. Oh my God! I'm like, oh my God! And I knew right then. That's what I knew. Heather is in Miranda's brain because Miranda, you are off your medications and you need your medications, but you can't afford your medications. So therefore, you have to suffer. And Heather, you say that you love Miranda. If you loved her, you'd get her some freaking medication. When you need it, you need it. I have blood clots. I have to have my medication every day. If I had to sell a
Yep.
cow for my medication, I would, you know?
Yep.
Yeah,
But what I'm
I
saying,
I
and then
can
she
vouch.
turned the whole thing
Yeah.
around. She turned the whole thing around when me and Allie did this and said that I'm against her because she's married to Heather. Oh my God. I have
Yeah.
a nephew that's gay all the time. Do I hate him? Absolutely not. Do I hate anybody? No. You do you. And you know what? If you want to hug a tree, go freaking hug a tree. I don't care. But what I'm saying is, the bottom line is, Heather, you used my daughter, you used my family, you screwed us around, and you're twisting everything around to make me look like the ass, to make my family look like the ass, to get the spotlight off of you so that you don't get in shit.
Yep.
Guess what?
Absolutely.
Well, yep. Well said.
TikTok.
Amen.
Amen.
They'll be
Go
coming
girl.
on your doorstep.
And when Angie and I did that first video, we did, how could it have been homophobic when we honestly, in our hearts and minds, did not believe they were really together?
No,
We
I
didn't.
didn't know.
No,
You know?
we thought it because like the guy, even the PI had, we were talking about, she was trying to get citizenship. It made perfect sense that it was like a, and Heather had already been in like a marriage with another friend of hers
Yeah.
over bills and stuff like that. So, or, for insurance and that kind of stuff. So it made perfect sense. Hey, maybe they got married to get her in. We did not believe at all that they were together. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. But then it was flipped around as if it was all homophobic. We didn't even think they were a couple. And
Yeah.
if they were, yeah.
Well,
They,
The thing
and
is,
to be
really
honest,
bothers me though, is at the end of
yeah.
the day, Miranda, you know perfectly well that your sister Sarah was not gay. How dare you say that about your sister? How dare you?
It's
You know, you
disrespectful
can
to her
easily talk about gay. You
fiance.
go right ahead. You go talk about gay. But you know what, Miranda? At the end of the day, Sarah was not. She was engaged. Was married. Damn you to say something like that.
And
Damn you.
Angie, yeah, I know. Heather knew that too because remember, Jana, the post that she made
Yes, I
about
do.
Sarah's death? And
Yep.
remember, she claimed she was, are we allowed to say it, Angie?
Go
She
for
she
it.
she claimed she was with child. She was pregnant. She wrote
Is
it
that
in our chat. Now I'll
yes,
vouch for
Sarah
every single
pregnant?
mod to go and search that chat because she wrote it in the chat. It wasn't true though, was it, Angie? She was pregnant before that and lost
Yeah,
the
Sarah.
baby, right? Yeah,
use
yeah.
the death of a woman's child against her
Exactly.
in your sick little fucking or freaking game. I'm
Yes.
so sorry, Ross, God Almighty. To use it in your sick little game, that is
And
that
what
is
about
just
yeah?
disgusting. It is. I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm sure if Sarah was, Angie wouldn't have cared. She did.
No.
Daggone sure wouldn't have been at a gay pray away the gay camp.
I wish
But
I knew about that
she
camp.
was with her boyfriend, and he had serious issues after that to just pretend like he doesn't exist. And I mean, he tried to like there it was a horrific tragedy
It
to
was.
use that
A
against everyone.
documented
Mm.
news tragedy.
And then
Documented
use
on the news.
yeah, and then use Michelle against that. Like, how dare her?
Yeah,
You know,
it's just,
Michelle didn't go through grieving after losing his fiance. Yeah, they were going to get married, Miranda. You don't know half the stuff. Oh, good Lord. But then you make up shit. Gay camp? Oh, my God. Never even heard of such a thing. That's
Heather, why do you fabricate something as serious as this
yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Is it to humiliate your wife's family?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you trying to discredit them, shut them up, make them look bad in everybody else's eyes, to alienate Miranda from them?
Exactly.
Or is it
Exactly.
to retaliate when the money stopped coming in?
She's trying to
Or
scare them
all
into
of the above?
submission. Scaring them into submission.
Do you know what
Well,
I
see,
know?
that's,
Yes.
yeah,
I'm not-
that's what she's doing.
Threatening to shut us up.
Yeah.
Alienation is like one of the biggest tactics that people like her will use. They want to cut you off from everyone around you, all of your friends, which she has, her old friends, her family. I mean, except for, when they were begging for money and calling Miranda's dad threatening to self-harm if they didn't get money over the summer after the first allegations, whenever they needed money, they were sure calling her dad, saying that stuff about giving him a heart attack. Look at the issues Angie's had with her health. How come, you know what? It's bullshit. Or I'm sorry, Roz. We might be Team Erickson, whatever, but we shouldn't care more about your own mom's health than you do. That is wrong. You don't know what you're doing to her. She's having seizures, all stress related, has been in the hospital getting tons of scans and stuff. How dare you? Your mother is precious. Mom, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine a day living without my mom, and I just cannot imagine treating my mother that way. Shame on you.
And
Yeah.
I believe, Miranda, that there's good in your heart. And I truly believe this. I don't know you, but I believe you know deep down that what's going on is wrong. And I just urge you to truly, truly, truly look inside of yourself and see what they're saying about your mother is not true. You know your mom. You lived with her.
Yeah.
Our moms always piss us off sometimes. They're our moms. I mean, they're fucking obnoxious sometimes because they're moms. And I'm a mom, and I'm fucking obnoxious sometimes. I just broke the F seal. I'm just tearing off the Band-Aid.
No, it's
Sorry,
okay.
Roz.
It's all
I'm
right,
using the
guys.
F
Did we
word.
lose Angie?
Yeah.
We lost her again, Angie.
Ooh.
She'll probably come right back. She's
Yeah,
on my
okay.
iPad. It's easy to accidentally press back.
Yeah.
Because
I'll just message her. We lost you, honey.
I think
But
that
no,
happened
I'm
last
here.
time.
Well,
No, Angie.
think about it. I just find some stuff really interesting. I notice Heather comments a lot, and she speaks for Miranda in all the comments. Like, Miranda hates you, and Miranda this, and Miranda that. And then when she comes on live, she puts Miranda front and center to do all the talking. And then you can hear Heather whispering to her in the
Yeah.
background, don't forget to say this, and don't forget to say that.
Yeah.
And, and Miranda's bullying us, and Miranda's always saying, like, oh, Jana, you don't know me, blah, 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 but you don't know me, honey. You don't know me. All the stuff
No.
you've heard about me, who's it coming from?
Oh, what they said about my kids. Oh my goodness. And me, 'cause I've
Oh.
got ADHD and I don't talk about it a lot, but I've got my husband's family on his side. All his brothers have got Asperger's, and it's gone into my kids, right? So I've got two with Asperger's, and the other one has ADHD, and the other child I'm not going to talk about. It's not really no one's business, really. But really, yes, Heather, Miranda, it's genetics, yes. And do I love them? Yes. They've got high IQs, absolutely. The other one's a musical genius. Um, and why would you pick on the so-called genetic condition, like, and mock it when your own wife says she's got Asperger's, the way she says it, Asperger's, says she's got it. But why would you pick on people's disabilities? Yeah, I've got ADHD. I'm proud of it. I've got a really great career too. What's your excuse of being an idiot? It's like, honestly, that was vile. Did you guys hear
Can
what
I
she said?
Well,
can I play
that's
it?
one of her obsessions, the mental stuff. I mean,
Oh,
look at her. She's accused me of being a mental case.
Oh yeah, I'm
Can I
It's
play it?
everybody.
schizophrenic.
Yeah, everybody.
I think
Everybody she has a beef with has a mental
talk
condition.
to Shanann. I never talked to Shanann. I'm
Listen,
like, what the heck?
I'm going to play what she said since you just said that. I've got it right here on my other phone. Here.
Yeah.
So much.
Fair
She
use.
wants to put down everyone else who's happy. It's annoying. It's fucking annoying. Go live your life in fucking Florida. Like, stay there, please. Gross. And Roz, fucking obsessed schizophrenic who talks to ghosts. Yeah, she's a weirdo of her own. Clearly, you have issues, genetically speaking, too. I mean, just look at your family. Yeah.
Shame on you. That is disgusting.
Shame.
Roz, Angie's back. Can you let her in?
Mm,
Yeah. How disgusting is that?
that
And
makes me so mad.
my son did. You saw what my son Jaden
I've
did, and
got
he
it
said,
right
"Mom,
here.
put it on video." He goes, "Put it on YouTube. Put it on YouTube."
Smart boy.
I've got it right here. You want me to play it from the group? What he said?
Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jaden, what do you think of what Heather said about, um, well, you've got ADHD, not mum, but James has got Asperger's, and so does Alex, right? Yeah. And then Sebastian is got a different, different ability. What do you think of what she said? She is a very unkind individual.
Yeah.
That's from Jaden, he knows. Yeah, she's nuts, though. I'll get you to listen, or if you want to, I'll send you the link. You can listen to the whole lot. But she went on YouTube saying she was going to take us all to court again. Like she said she was going to get protection order on mum. All right. And you could be very surprised with what's going to happen. Okay. Very paranoid lady. Can I show them your radio?
Paranoid lady, he said. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, I did his hair, by the way. I bleached it and coloured it because he goes, "Mum, I want me to hair." Okay, well, it's all right. So we YouTubed it, and
Ooh, I
uh,
love it.
yeah, and you know what the trick is? You get some hairspray, you spike it up, and then you get bleach. Put your hands in bleach and just touch the tips. Let
Mm.
it bleach up, and then we add, wash it off, and then add the color in it. So he's Jaden. He's very self-conscious about his looks.
Well, he's adorable. He looks so cute, and his hair matches his shirt in that video. And what a bit like big after being heard something like that about your family. That's very unkind, he said. I mean, come on now. That's just how does a child have it together more than these adults? I don't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. And like your friend, like Kim and Crafton, I'm not going to talk bad about them, but isn't Kim an advocate for those with special needs? Honestly, are
Yeah.
they going to be supporting this vile behavior? None of us, you just watch it. All of us here on panel, we're all talking very calmly. We're not throwing any ad hominem attacks. We're not attacking your looks. We're not attacking your mental health. We're just expressing how upset and disappointed we are in your attitude. Um, and then you watch these two live after live doxing, calling us names, schizophrenic, hot asses is a cool name. You're now fire crotch, Jana. Ali, you started using drugs again. Now Tess, yours is going to come up.
I'm
Angie,
ready.
well,
Give me a name.
I look like a skeleton.
I missed
she's
that
been,
part. Oh
Yeah.
By the way, I did say that about Miranda about her weight. My bad. But however, Miranda would always talk about how she looked and everything else. She wore beautiful clothes. Her makeup was always done. And you know what? If you have a bad, you know what? Who cares if you don't put makeup on for the days or whatever? But Miranda, come on, you have to look after yourself. If you're not on any medication, you got to start eating properly. You got to, your heart can't handle the weight. I'm a size 12. Like, how dare you call me a big fatty, whatever you said.
And Angie was trying to get a response. That's exactly what she told me right after, because I was like, whoa, you said that to her? And she's like, yes, because I don't know where my daughter is. I'm trying to get her to respond, and she will always respond over her weight.
Well, that's another thing I want to say. Miranda, you did leave farm. You do have stuff here. Yes, you do. You phoned me. Tell me what you want me to do with all your stuff. I need to know. Who says that we are going to stay on this farm forever? I don't know. Don't know. Dad and I decided to pack up and go move to BC or whatever. So be it. I'm not going to have all your stuff here, so you better tell me what to do. So be strong. Give me a call. It's not like I'm going to hate you.
And not through you, Heather. Let Miranda do her own speaking.
Exactly.
If she's not a prisoner and she's speaking for herself, and you're not speaking for her, there should be no issue whatsoever with her speaking to Angie
Right.
by
Call us.
herself.
Wow.
Call me
Angie,
back.
you sound like such an awful mom who care. I mean, you still, after all the things she said about you, care about her well-being and are asking her to reach out to you. So awful of a human, huh?
Yeah, what a
Such a
horrible
horrible parent.
human. Oh my
You know
Ugh.
what?
gosh.
You know what? You know what?
Curse you,
I
Angie.
I raised my kids all the same. You know, Miranda, I love her to death. I ain't ever gonna say anything about life on the farm because it was perfect. Like, oh my gosh, she got whatever she wanted, yada yada yada. And don't say you didn't. I can name a million of things. I got a horse standing out there, got a dog out there, got a cat who did paid for all that. Me, lottie lottie yaddy, paid for whatever. But Miranda, at the end of the day, of course we love you, and my door is always open for you. Absolutely, but you gotta get some help first. Like you've been away and been brainwashed for over a year now. So come off it. I love you. Your father loves you. Your brother's pissed off at you, and I don't blame him. You know how he rolls. So
I don't blame him either. I mean,
yeah, he is.
goodness sakes.
He is mad.
Can
He's
you?
upset. Him and his fiance, they're getting married this summer. Yes, it's gonna
I'm
be.
coming.
I know you are. All my girls are coming. My team's coming.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
I
how
can't
his
believe.
fiance feels hearing the awful accusations that she has to hear while they are trying to have, while they're trying to have a baby and they went through a lot of hell doing that? Can you imagine? I
Ugh.
mean, you got to think what you're doing to people, going out and these kind of accusations are life ruining. It's not like some little thing. This is a very big deal. You cannot do that if it's not true. Eventually, it will come back on you. And I
Yeah,
promise you guys,
yeah,
whether
Miranda.
you get legal consequences or not,
Yeah,
karma is very real. And you have
Absolutely.
a lot coming for you.
Miranda, and you know perfectly well that. Okay, I lost it. It's
I do
boom.
that all the time.
Yeah, it's called Caesar brain. My girlfriend has cancer, and we laugh, and she'll say, "Oh, cancer brain." I go, "Oh." She'll laugh, go, "Oh, Caesar brain." Yeah, shut up. We're a great couple together. We both forget what we want to say.
Oh, I think that just happens to anyone. I mean, yesterday I was working and go, did I just ring this person? And I'm like, oh my God, she's around. Go take a break or something. And today I'm going to be stuck because after this I have to go to work. So unlike Heather, who says we were all jobless, I do have a job, I have a career, and they know about you, by the way, Heather. I actually had a chat with management and the cybersecurity team again yesterday. So be very careful. You're treading on a very fine line. Another thing I want to mention just really quickly, guys, they're claiming we have not slandered or harassed you, but if you want to file a lawsuit, that's great. But just to let you know, Miranda, that since you're getting your information from Heather, who lies a lot and tells porcupines, and she's not that educated in the law, if you want to file a lawsuit against me, you have to come to Australia, to the state I live in, go to the court, get a lawyer, an Australian lawyer, then take me to court and sue me that way. You have to come to my homeland. You can't sue me from Las Vegas or wherever you are, or the
We
United
learned
States.
that in the
You know?
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trials. They had one in the UK, one in Australia, one here. You can't sue people in different
No,
countries.
no. So miseducated in the law. Come on, stop being. You know what I mean? She's gonna hate this now because she hates Heather hates being shown up for being a bit uneducated. She wants to say that we're all uneducated. I might not be super tech savvy. This is my first live. I'm going to make mistakes. I really don't care. But I know that I'm a decently well educated person, even with my ADHD and with even my grammar and spelling mistakes sometimes because I type on my phone and I make mistakes anyway. But I am looking at that first, the protection order that the idiot, the dum dum, puts on. I'm going to get one on you, Roz, in Australia. I go, well, protection orders are done across the borders, okay? And then it is oh, slander's very real. We've got a lawyer here. We're taking you to court, right? Okay, you're going to come to Australia. It's going to cost you. Look, we've got money with all the debts they have, right, Angie? Because we know they've got a lot of debts, and banks and con appliance and or chasing them, and yes, they got evicted. By the way, that is not a lie. No one's chasing you. It's in your court records, darling. If you want to
Anybody
sue,
see it?
she might want to sue the regional courts in Las Vegas, Clark County, for having her name up there as being evicted. But yeah, it's crazy to see how she goes. I know I'm smarter than all of you. I know how to take channels down. I know how to sue you. And every single thing is the dumbest statement. It gets dumber and dumber each time she speaks. Sorry. it's,
You're
it's
trying to
good.
say what you want.
Well, she's got
Everything.
What I
everything,
want
even
to say,
Angie. She's gonna
yeah,
go to Canada and sue her.
yeah, come
Yeah.
on
That's
over.
what she's gonna do.
Everything she says is lies. They also said you don't even talk about true crime and you talk bad about the police. When like a month ago I made a video standing up for Chief Hadley of Chatham County, Georgia. I've talked about hundreds of cases. I don't only talk about popular cases. I talk about unpopular ones too. Just happens right now. I am interested in one that is popular. But don't tell me that shit. That is not the truth. I bust my ass to try to be a place, or excuse me, I bust my butt where I can try to be a place to do true crime and not where anybody can come and drama doesn't come in there and that kind of stuff. I try to run a channel with integrity and most people, I just cannot believe the way that they speak about me as if I'm this like cheap 10-cent drama channel, which even if I was, so what? Like, who are you better than anybody? But I have busted my butt to keep, I even started a second channel so I can run my mouth a little bit because sometimes I really want to, but I try to keep it respectful to the victims and stuff because every case I talk about, there are victims and family members. So, I mean, do not do that to me because it's been not exactly the easiest thing to do. And I've tried really hard to keep it separate and I don't appreciate that. It's just complete lies.
And I
Yeah.
want to add something
Another
on
thing I
there.
wanted to say
Oh,
was
you
another
go
thing I wanted to
first.
say was and Miranda, yeah, really, you're saying that your brother and dad raped you? Come on, where's your lawyer? Lawyer up. It hasn't happened because it's not true.
Yeah, and tell them about the
Uh,
police. I mean,
Huh?
I know. I helped put a pedophile behind bars. I was a witness for someone. They
Right.
act they act immediately when they've got
Yep.
evidence, okay? They have to look, the police have to see if there is actual criminal evidence.
Yep.
And in this case they did, and they acted very quickly with this girl
That's
that I was a witness for.
good.
May I say a point really
Mm,
quick? What they're saying about your husband and your son, that is slander. What they are
Yeah.
saying about Allie, that is slander. What we are speaking about is documented proof. The difference between slander and free speech and opinion is that you're speaking about something that's a factual thing, not something that's made up that can hurt someone. What you're
Right.
saying about Angie's husband and son can hurt them. What you're saying about Allie can hurt her. What you're saying about Jana can hurt her. What we're saying, we show documented proof that this happened, this happened, this happened with your words. It's a
Yeah.
totally different thing, and I just wanted to clarify that.
That is
Okay,
so
Good job.
That's
true.
I
that
just
Not
was
wanted
only
said really
to
well.
clarify that. Okay, I'm
Um,
done. Back to saying the F bomb by myself and mute. Bye.
no, it's okay, guys. I think that's gone out of the window. I said to the guys, can you please couldn't
w-
swear? Because I don't swear. And even
next
Heather
time we'll
knows
do
that I
better.
don't swear. That's okay.
Sorry.
Hey, I haven't sworn yet.
No, Jenna's been good.
I blame the squirrel that made my power go out today. I
It just
apologize, but
it's
it's
an
the squirrel's
emotional
fault. Yes.
it's an emotional topic, and we're all invested and it's to the point where just like the slander you're talking about, that is such a good point, and you said that so well. She's like, they're like, oh, we're going to tell about you being in prison or whatever. To me, I'm like, excuse me, I've made it very clear. I had years of bad behavior. I was addicted to heavy drugs, including heroin, benzos, lots of stuff. I was a bad kid. Guess what? I was only ever in jail one time for like 2 hours, and I put that on my channel. I'm honest about that stuff just so it would help someone. So don't you dare try to twist it and and make it like just make stuff up like that. That is slander. That is not true. Just like they said I was involved in a hate crime and blah blah blah. That is slander. That is complete made up lies. What we are doing is speaking about the truth. So take us to court, please, because then we can make sure everybody knows what you've done. Seriously.
We're using
it's-
your words, Heather, your
Yeah.
words. Miranda, your words. We're speaking on your words. That's
I
not
have-
slander.
I have so much proof of what she's done to me.
Oh,
She attempts to intimidate, embarrass me by playing secretly recorded private phone calls during a bad time of my life. Heather, you've threatened me over and over again. I have all the documentation. You sent a fake DoorDash order to my home. You call me Janet Erickson, and you changed my phone number by 1 digit, but you have my phone number because you send me the strangest text messages to let me know that you know where I live. You accuse me of all kinds of things, harassing you, being obsessed with you, putting a hit on you. You've accused me of abusing my children and grandchildren and being ordered, not being allowed to see them, being mentally ill, being SA supporter. And now you've even accused me of being a child predator myself. There's the last quote I got from you in a text message. Maybe you like to play with the kitties a bit much.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I mean, talk about slander, Heather. Go
Right.
ahead, bring it on. Bring on your threats. I'm not scared of you. I have so much documentation. You take things out of context with me. You make fun of my age, my looks. You attack my marriage. You try to discredit me, and on and on. Let's talk about the facts here. I am old. I am 65. Is that old? But I look 55 and I do not have wrinkles. My marriage is thriving. I have no desire for you, Heather. You need to get off that subject that I'm obsessed with you. Your looks, your personality, both turn me off. I have never, ever been accused of harming my children or grandchildren. I've never been ordered to stay away from them. I've never harassed you. Since the day I left your team, I never once spoke to you privately, never called you, never texted you, never emailed you, nothing. And if you have proof otherwise, then it's fake.
Jana has a beautiful wife. Why would she be interested in freaking Heather? Come on. See that I didn't
I'm
cuss?
interested in feminine gay, not masculine gay.
And I'm sorry.
I'm
Heather, you have the-
sorry, but I'm not interested in that type.
That's not your
Sorry.
type. Roz, did
She's
you catch
saying
that?
we're
I
all.
said freaking, not the F word. See, I didn't cuss. I did it. I'm trying.
And it's not
Okay,
about
okay,
Heather's
okay,
looks, it's
okay.
about her heart. She has an ugly heart.
That's just
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted Heather, wanted to help her in the first place, because in the beginning, I believe she did have a good heart. She came off that way.
Yeah.
I don't care. I didn't care about her looks, but as far as being obsessed with her, and that's what she tries to tell everybody why I left her team, because she's saying that she rejected me and I'm a scorned ex-mod. That is not true, and I have proof that it's not true. I left her team because I found out she lied to me.
Yeah.
And I was not interested in being a part of that.
That's
And
good.
I found out she was secretly recording phone conversations, mine and everybody she speaks with.
To
She
the
has
moon,
a whole collection of them to use them
Oh, no.
against people.
Yeah.
To the
Mhm.
moon. To the moon. Is asking. She needs. I need to ask a question. What was the question? Can anyone say what the question
Does
was?
Miranda have some social and or emotional arrested development other than being an Aspie? Well, you know what? First, I'll let Angie answer that, but she's never been diagnosed with Asperger's until, I guess,
No.
recently, if that's happened.
Yeah.
No, she's never. The only thing, no, and I'm not going to say about, it's not Asperger's. She doesn't have Asperger's. Good Lord, no. She was always a top student in school. And then,
Oh, hold on. Correction though, Angie. People with Asperger's can have a very high IQ.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more of people with autism
Social.
is more of a
Social.
social trait. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that no, she's never been diagnosed here in Canada of any of those. Asperger's. What else did she say that she's?
That was it. But she
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
emotional.
Oh,
Dyslexia as
dyslexia. Yeah.
well.
Oh, the question I thought you were saying. She was asking if she has any emotional or like she does have some issues mentally. I know Angie probably doesn't want to go too deep into that, but she's
No.
had a lot of trouble throughout her years. That's why Angie said she needs to be medicated because
Wouldn't
she, yeah.
sorry, classify it as emotional EBD, like emotionally behavior disorder. There's some things, correct? Isn't that how you don't, without going into it, you would say that that would be a perfect classification, Angie, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
No, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing Amanda says no. She does not have Asperger's or dyslexia. No, she was never. And when she said that, I'm like, I had to laugh. I'm like, really? Isn't that
Well,
what Heather
we don't
said that
know.
Chris had?
And there's
Well,
nothing wrong with having, you know what, we all
No,
have,
not a
you know,
thing. Not
we
a
all
thing.
have different things that we have, you know,
yes,
anxiety, depression, addiction, you
Yeah.
know, those are all things, and then they're not things to be ashamed of, but you need to treat them and you need to work on them, and you can't pretend they're not there.
Yeah. See,
yeah,
Miranda was always a follower. She really was, because I'm just reading this one. She was very emotional. Miranda gets emotional. We all get emotional, right? We
To the
do.
moon said, and now yes to your question, but I want to see what you say, Angie. She
Okay.
said, so the question is, does that put her into a category of high vulnerability? Is she vulnerable to be preyed on like by people like Heather?
Can I
Oh,
say something really quick
absolutely.
before
Miranda
she
was
says
always
that? We are
follower.
looking into that, to the moon, correct, ladies?
What's that?
yes.
We're
What's that?
looking into that.
Looking
Well,
into what?
she's always been a Angie said she's always been like a follower. She said that
Always.
on my channel before. But
Yeah.
do you think she's vulnerable to people like Heather? For Angie, how do you feel about that?
So I think, oh yeah, because when you're not on your medication, and when we met Heather, yeah, everything was good. Like it wasn't, but I won't go there. But anyways, no, Miranda has always been a follower. She always has. And Miranda, don't say you haven't, because you have. She never wanted to drive. I always had to drive, or her friends always had to drive. She just didn't want to do. It is what it is. So what?
It'd be like a diabetic going into a sugar factory and
Exactly.
eating sugar over and over
Over.
and
Yeah.
over every day, all day long, and not
Yeah.
realizing that eating sugar is slowly killing them. That's what Miranda's doing right now.
Yeah. Miranda needs a medication. Definitely. She's been off of it for a while, because when we went there, I made sure I got her, what, free 6 months,
Yeah, you
Miranda, I
said
believe?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Made
and
sure.
it's really important because look, I feel a bit uncomfortable talking about her diagnosis the way, but they're not uncomfortable talking about me, my family. But
No.
I believe, like you said, Angie, you don't still want to publicize what her diagnosis is because
No.
you want
No.
to protect her, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and but I do know this. Look, coming from concern here, if you're not medicated, it's going to be such a whirl around to get remedicated and stabilized again.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And also when you're not medicated, you may think you don't need it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Roz, I'm not speaking about Miranda, I'm speaking about anyone in general. Any
yeah.
person in general.
Oh,
Yeah.
Any
look,
person
I
in
know.
general that's on medication and have been for their life, or needs something, or even therapy, and you're not doing it, and you're surrounding yourself with things that are bad, you're gonna have bad things
Yes.
happen.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Absolutely.
look, I've got a loved one who's has mental health issues, and when not medicated, it's what happens is they when they're medicated, they feel normal and they don't feel they need to be medicated, so they come off the medication to get them back onto the medication because they easily like they slip within days. You see the difference. It's such a whirl around to get them back into it. And here in Australia, we've got a crisis assessment team, which are brilliant. So people who do that, we just bring them, and they are brilliant in getting them back into hospital and remedicated. But yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know. In general, it's just yeah, just I don't know because the United States don't have the healthcare system that we have in Australia and Canada. We've got free healthcare here.
Yeah.
I just hope, that she's getting some sort of help. I don't know how it
There
works
are
there, but I
plenty of
heard.
free resources
Yeah.
here in America for
Oh, is
health.
there?
For
Oh, okay, good.
absolutely, there are plenty of
Mm.
them. You just have to look for them. It
Yeah.
may not be as good as America or Australia or Canada, but we do have resources for mental health and all of that kind of stuff.
Ooh, Allie, it's sunny there. Wow. Yeah, so Miranda, just, call home, make arrangements with all your stuff. We have to do that. And yeah, just call home, and I love you. We love you. We miss you, even if you call, like, just call. So I know you're fine. Like, I know you say horrible things, but at the end of the day, Miranda, we aren't what you think we are, and you know that. You just been brainwashed. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it, and everybody else says it too. You've been brainwashed. I got brainwashed by her.
Oh, we all did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
We all did.
too.
Yeah, we all
We
got
all did.
sucked
We're all
in,
victims.
didn't
Me
we,
too.
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And it's really, and I'm going to say this too. So even though Heather attacked me so viciously, there is a kind side to you, girl. And I've seen the kind side. When I lost my friend to cancer, brain cancer last year, she was only like 44 years old. One of my best friends. Heather did a nice thing for me. She did a beautiful like community post, and she was ringing me and talking to me and counseling. That's the nice side. And I
But
you
is
know,
it real?
is
I
it real?
believe there's good in every person. Every person has
Yeah,
good in them.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. But see what I mean? This is the type of person. She's called me horrible things. Miranda's called me horrible things. I just don't retaliate that way. I
No.
don't I don't do that.
No, happy
Eh,
people don't.
No.
No.
I don't believe Heather's happy.
No. Yeah.
Guys, I gotta run and go get my kids. I'm gonna jump down in the chat, because I gotta leave at 2:20 and 2 minutes to go get the kids from school, and
No
I'll just
worries, Ali.
be down
Thanks
in the
for
chat.
joining. All
Thank you
right,
guys for
thanks.
having me, and
Thank
sorry for
Okay.
all
you.
the
All right,
All
bad
right. Talk to you
words.
soon.
Okay,
thanks.
bye, guys.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, love.
um. Oh yeah, she's adorable. Thanks for helping out, Ali. Because I'm like a virgin to stream out on live panels. I hate doing this. But yeah, so I think people can notice that between our panel and their lives, there's a big difference. We're
Except for
not
my
here.
swearing, and I apologize again.
Well, we're
I've
not.
been
We're
up
not
since
attacking
11
them though.
p.m., so I
Well,
apologize.
and guys, I'm not my true form because I had to get up at 4 a.m. to do this. So because to fit in with your schedule, because I'm a day ahead of you guys, and I have to go to work after this. But
And,
yeah, so
but you get
and
Christmas before us too, so
Yeah.
yeah, we get New Year's
it's
before you
just
too.
quite unfair, Roz. And you sound good, and your voice is pretty, and you were a model, so geez,
Yeah.
Roz, just trumping us all on everything today.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
You
I
go.
was a model, and Heather knows that. So she does. I don't know. She can try and attack my looks, but I'm not coming on panel right now because I'm not showing my face for two reasons. We actually really work. Because she stole my identity twice. I'm not going to show my face because I can't trust her. I know she'll probably steal a photo again. I hope she picks the bridal model shoot that I did, uh, and pops that on.
Hey,
um,
Miranda did that once at a
yeah,
show.
I did modeling for
No,
I
she
did
didn't.
videos. I did video clips as well, like for Australian music videos, and I did modeling for a bridal catalog and other things.
Wow.
So
Yeah, Miranda
yeah.
did a show, a bridal show, and she was wearing wedding dresses. And then somebody put it. Oh, I think Miranda put it up on her post, and everybody's letting somebody said, "What? Miranda's getting married? She's too young to get married." Like she was like 17 or something. That was hilarious. I remember that.
I know, it's so much
She was a
fun.
rodeo queen. She was a rodeo queen. She was beautiful. Like she looks.
She
Oh,
is
she's still
beautiful.
beautiful.
She
Yeah,
is.
she's still
She is
very beautiful.
absolutely gorgeous.
She's a lovely, lovely girl.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
woman, girl. I'm old, so I can say that.
all her friends miss her here. Oh man, especially Keston. She really misses Miranda. You know, a lot of people do. We all do. I do.
Yeah.
Roz,
Of course.
may I say one more thing before, and then I think I just wanted to make sure that everyone understands. And Heather and Miranda, I want you to understand, we're not perfect people.
No.
We all, I've said it a million times, so I'm gonna say it one more time. We all fuck up. We have all fucked up in our lives. We we're not coming here sitting on a throne saying, do this, be this. We want you to, we're coming out of concern and love. We're of course gonna protect ourselves because you've done things that have hurt, not me, but everyone else in here. And I just wanted to make certain that people understand that this is not an attack. This is not hate. This
No.
is not, this is honestly coming from a place of love, wanting to just fix whatever we can and move forward. This world is an ugly place. We're in the true crime community. Look at what we see every single day. Think about how none of those people woke up that day and thought that was going to be the day that their child was killed, their brother was killed. You just don't ever know. Life is so short. It is so fragile. It is so precious. And if we can do anything to make things just a little bit better, to stop the harassment, to bring a family at least back together enough to know that they love one another, that's what we're trying to do. That's
Yes.
all I
Yes.
wanted to say. Okay,
Absolutely.
and I apologize for saying the F word like 15 times. So that's all. I
That's
just wanted to say
that's
that.
okay. Yeah, exactly. But we do want the lies to stop, and
Yeah.
you can't.
Stop.
And it almost feels like, Heather, you want to have a monopoly here on YouTube. I mean, I think you think you're the lawyer or the queen of YouTube, but you're not. We are allowed to speak up and expose the lies. So you really did lie about speaking to Chris Watts, okay? Because when I leaked the your phone call notes, which is known as the script to Mummy Ramblings, I'll make this clear to you. It wasn't because I was going to get back at you. Yes, I lied about leaking it. It was me because you threatened in our chat that you were going to fix up whoever leaked it. But I only did that because I believed Chris, you were talking to Chris and he was saying some horrible things that I thought, oh my God. And you told me that law enforcement was not listening to the calls. And I thought that was weird because I know here in prison in Australia that all phone calls are listened to. I mean, the only thing that's negated is when you speak to your lawyer, right? In here. So that's in confidence. And I thought, how can that be possible? So then I said, well, look, this has got to go to law enforcement. And that's why I sent it to Mummy Ramblings. I said, look, I don't know who to turn to. I mean, my friend is saying that this has been it hasn't it's been not been listened to. So he's making these confessions. Can you please pass this on to the the DA or to the right law enforcement agencies? I said because this is really bad stuff. I mean, remember the stuff she was saying, Jen? I think it got worse after you left, but it was like, oh, he's confessed now. Yep, and
Yeah, there was
NK
2 weeks of
and
it.
her friends killed all of them. And then she would say the priest knows about it. Mark the priest, it was Mark the priest. Remember that was made up too. So knows about it. And I went, oh my God, this is crazy stuff. So I felt
Yeah,
like
it did
crap
get
when
worse
she
when
read
I
it
left.
out. I felt really bad because I did not want it to go to YouTube. I said, can you take it to law enforcement? She did, but she also took it to YouTube. So that's another story. But that's okay. I know no hard, like I don't dislike anyone or anything, and I still like her and a lot of things, and she's great. But it happened, and that's why. But in a way, I thank her because I found out the truth. Because she kept saying to me, no, no, this is your friend's lying to you. She hasn't spoken to him. And she wouldn't tell me why she knew that, but I found out about a couple months later that the Rudex did get confirmation that Heather did not have any phone calls with him. And I got confirmation from the FBI because I rang them up and spoke to someone in Colorado through the yeah, and they told me straight out, got all the dates, and said oh, these phone calls never happen. We're going to check with Dodge. We'll get back to you if we need to, but I can guarantee you right now she's not had any phone calls with this, with Chris Watts, and Mummy Ramblings confirmed that as well. So yeah, and I felt, then it turned to anger. Like I felt like crap because I betrayed my friend, and then I was like, how could you make this all up? It's like I was so upset. And I remembered speaking to my friend Amber, and she's like, Ross, how could you not see it? And I go, I'm such an idiot. I go, now you look at that, and you go, oh my God. And then trying to turn it into a book review. And she's on Kim's and Craft and going, it was a book review. It's a book review. No, girls, I had to say to you that should be on the phone with us. Oh, Chris is calling. Chris is calling.
Oh yeah, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
all the time, 3 to 4 times a day. And he he tried to commit suicide, and the first person he calls is
Heather.
yes.
Oh,
And no one
God.
called on
Chris
his
has never
birthday.
talked to her. He's never
Yeah,
talked to her.
no one recognized his birthday, but who?
Heather.
Who? Heather. Yes.
I know he was so sad, wasn't he? Because Heather was the only one who
I
remembered.
love Delaney's comment. I'm gonna have a Zoom. Yeah, and yeah. So it's the lies you've told. Now the lies are that then the other lie is that she pretended. Did you hear this one? To talk to Chris Watts to save Miranda. And she changed the story. I think Delaney knows this. She was in a live chat and she was asking too many questions, and she got banned by in Crafton's chat, and she was like a member there, right? And she kept asking these questions, and she didn't like it, so she banned it. Asking, oh, well, hold on, didn't you said that you didn't know about the abuse,
No.
but then in December you asked why did you got those bruises? Because she
Mm-hmm.
said she knew about the abuse from September, right? And she had to save and steal money from Angie. And then she on the live says, no, well, she came in December. I was like, what's going on? Why have you got all those bruises? Hang on. Didn't you say that you knew about the abuse in September? And then she changed it. Yeah, yeah, it was September. And then because we had the phone call notes and we had evidence that she was taking money from Angie from April, she changed it that she was talking to Miranda in secret in April.
That's
It's
crap.
like,
That's crap.
Yeah, she keeps backtracking to
Yeah.
cover her up.
And the thing
Mm.
about lies is they always come out.
They always
Your
come out.
grandmother
Yeah.
said that to you back when you were a little kid, and it's the truth. They always
Yeah.
come out.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. They'll always come and hit you in the butt. Always.
Oh,
So at the end of the
yeah.
day, I've done 3 lives, only 3 that I have chose to do, Miranda. So therefore, just I won't be doing any more.
Are you there? She mute herself.
I think her phone was ringing.
Oh, she's muted herself. She's taking the call. Yeah, so I think everyone wants
Let
to actually, yeah. Well, how do you guys feel? I pretty much said my bit,
That's
and
what I was gonna say. I think
I'm
I've
here.
said what I need to say. So I will I'm gonna say goodbye as well. And thank
yeah.
you for doing this. And I apologize to everyone again for swearing. I apologize.
No,
Um,
no worries, sis. I think
I'm
we're all
like,
gonna end this now,
don't swear,
okay?
don't swear,
Yeah,
and then I'm the one that swears. So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
Okay, I
apologize.
gotta go to. I gotta go to a doctor's
yeah,
appointment.
yeah. Me, I've got to get ready for
So,
work and
like I
do all
said,
the mum
guys,
things.
I'm not doing no more. Ever done? Done. Miranda, call me. Um, we don't hate you, but you gotta have responsibilities here, and you gotta look after them. That's what
Yeah,
you
Life
gotta
is
and
do.
short and precious.
can we
And
just make it clear as well? None of us have protection orders. Um, we didn't lie about your evictions in the court records.
No,
The banks are after you, okay? Pay your credit card deals first. You denied it. You said no, banks are not after you. Then you said you got a little credit card debt. You don't have a little credit card debt. You got a big one. And you owe appliance
Ross, I
stores
don't know
a
how
lot of
much
money.
it is. I never did open up her bank statements.
I don't do that. So
No, well, banks don't
Little
ring
Rory
you up for
posted it.
banks don't ring you up for little debts though.
I know.
they
That's
they
Oh,
ring
check
you up
out the chat, you guys. We have Miranda Green saying, I'm attempting to call. Answer.
Oh, well, call me on the house phone.
Oh, good on you, Miranda. Welcome. I mean,
Call
I
me
hope
on the
you.
house phone.
That's a
Call me
good
on the
thing.
house phone.
Yeah,
You
that's a
know
good
what?
thing.
Christmas is the season of miracles.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well,
I
at least
hope
that's what
so.
Hallmark tells me every day. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Call on the house phone, Miranda. My house.
okay.
Busy.
Cheers,
We'll let you
everyone.
go.
Take
Everyone, I hope
care.
a good outcome for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
All
let you
right.
guys know what the doctor's appointment says, okay?
Oh, yeah, good luck,
I'll
sweetheart. Are they
Good
doing the
luck.
EEG?
I'm
They're
hoping.
doing it?
Everyone,
I hope so.
mwah. See ya.
All
Love
right, bye,
y'all.
everyone. We're going to end it now.
Don't
See
take
ya.
Miranda.
Bye.
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 Hello.